Hey Jeff,
Hello.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good too. Good too. Dave's here?
Uh, no, I'm not sure he's joining today.
Okay. No, it's not important. It is recorded. Okay. Um, First of all, we have a case with Marketing Suite, and I have uh, to fix the alert, the issue, um, as fast as I can, because let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, this is Shinken. This is a monitoring system for Marketing Suite. Like Centreon, we use for EMS. We use Shinken for Marketing Suite. And as you can see, we have some critical alerts related to one of our database server. And this alert means that we have reached 90% of used space on database disks, the disks which hosts the database files. So I just want to show you quickly how I will fix that that stuff, because it's an alert we can have often. So it's kindly urgent, because if we reach the full disk on one of the drive, SQL Server will switch as read-only mode, and the application, all the client hosted on this database server will be impacted by an incident, because if they try to insert some data, if the application tries to insert some or update some data in a table, it will not work. And furthermore, some services of the application will crash. So that's why I want to extend those disks. As you can see, we have 3 disks impacted, and I guess I will filter with the host name. And yeah, the last disk is in warning. So what I'm gonna do is to extend the disk space to 500 gigabytes to maybe 750 gigabytes to be comfortable with the disk space, okay?
Okay.
So to do this, it's the procedure to do this is to, we always talk of virtual machines with Marketing Suite. So I will have to extend the virtual drives on VMware, but before to do this, I have to ensure that the LAN on the storage array has enough free space to extend the disk. Hey, Dave. So I'm going to connect to the Marketing Suite Jumpbox. And on my desktop, we use as a storage array, we use a NetApp controller. So I have to connect to this controller. On my desktop, I have an icon. I have to double click. It will start a web page to manage the NetApp controller. And the controller is this one, FF1G NACT01. I have to log on to this one. This password will be sent to you. It's storing the key pass for the moment. NetApp for CCMP. If you have a look on this database, it's splitted by application, CCMP, GTmail, and other folders. And I still have to extract the useful password for you and to provide those passwords in a separate system. I will do this week.
Okay.
So for CCMP, I need the NetApp password. I know this is this one. It's written in French sometimes, but I will translate for you guys. Are you familiar with the NetApp stuff or not at all?
I am not.
Okay. Could be useful to write a procedure for this.
Hey, Ramon. So the NetApp stuff is more related to the application itself, correct?
For the moment, when I have an issue on during my on-call rotation on the application side, sometimes I have to connect to the NetApp system and to manage the LANs, the SVM, etc., etc. It's a part of my job. Tomorrow, I don't know at the end if it will be a part of your job, but it is a recurrent alert we can have on Marketing Suite, and it's pretty urgent. So if you can help on this side, it's really good. I don't know tomorrow if you will be missioned to this, but Andreas asked me to show you how to extend the disk. So
no, that's perfect. And because I know right now we're focusing on the GTmail.
Yeah.
And the Marketing Suite could, in the future. And I invited our apps team, but they're not on with us today. And how we would probably handle this is, they would we would triage the ticket, and then we would have to call them in. They would just be on call, but not necessarily on the first to respond.
Of course. I'm talking about that just because we have some urgent alert right now on the Marketing Suite on Shinken. So it's a current case. So I just want to show you right now how to solve this. As I explained, we have 4 critical alerts on in a database server on Marketing Suite. There is no enough free space, where we have reached the threshold of 90%, and I have to extend the disk today because I'm not sure this night maybe we will have an issue, a full disk on one of those disks. It will be an incident if we don't do anything. And as you are here, I just want to show you how to do. That's the reason.
Yep, sounds perfect. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Okay, for all the database volumes and LANs are linked to the NA FC03 controller. So you have to connect to the SVM 03 each time it's related to a database server on Marketing Suite. You have to check on the volumes of the impacted server. I know it's 23. What is the free space on this volume? So we still have 2 terabytes left, so sounds perfect. What is the status? What is the free space on the lens? On CDMSDB 23. Used, okay. So here we just have 300 gigabytes. And what I will do is to extend each disk of 2050 gigabytes to reach 700, no, 2,000, 250 gigabytes to reach 750 gigabytes per disk. So, I mean, I will add 1 terabyte here to cover all the disk usage. So I will just, what I have to do is to extend, to edit the impacted LUN, to extend the LUN from 1 terabyte, save and close. I can confirm. Right now, if we have a look, the total size of the LUN is 5 terabytes. Okay, I have some VPN issues. You still have the problem with your VPN? You have to connect to Marketing Suite Jumpbox to hop to the cheetah mail?
Yes.
Okay.
Other problem
Okay.
with that I wanted to talk to at some point. My VMware Horizon View it won't open at all. It just hangs.
I cannot hear you. The volume is really low.
Oh, sorry. The VMware Horizon View doesn't open at all for me now.
Okay.
So I just need to ask you how to put a ticket in for that. I'm sure it's just hung somewhere.
Yeah. You talk about VMware on Titamail or Marketing Suite?
So this is the right when you log in to the Okta to get to the VM Horizon View, so that you've got the first machine inside, so that you can then go to the jump box to start with.
Okay.
His VDI access.
VDI. Fortunately, I have no view at all of VDI. It's more related to the IT department of Cheetah Digital. And I can talk to them. I cannot do anything.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to do anything, but I'm not sure how to put a ticket into them or let them know. But we don't have to stop for that right now. That's just something that I need to find out how to connect with them.
Okay. Okay, so the LAN is now 5 terabytes, so I can extend. I should be able to extend the disks on VMware. On VMware, we have split the configuration per cluster, and we have the database cluster here. And as you can see, if I try to list the data stores. Oh, yeah, data stores. I can check on the data store for the database server 23. What is the total capacity of this data store? And it's 4 terabytes. I just want to refresh this view because as the action we have done on the data array is to extend to 5 terabytes. So I cannot see right now the free space. Let's try to extend it. And I can extend this one to the maximum capacity for 1 terabyte. So perfect. I will add 1 terabyte. Okay, with the maximum size, I want to allow all the free space on the LAN. Let's do this. After that, I should see my data store as 5 terabyte data store. So I just need to wait for VMware operations. There is already a documentation on Confluence for these actions, but it could be helpful to see the video if you need one day. Okay, the data store is now 5 terabytes. So I just have to extend right now the 4 disks on the virtual machine. So I edit the settings of the virtual machine CDMSDB23. You can see all the different virtual drives here. And the drives which need to be extended are the 500 gigabytes drives. So we just have 4 drives to extend from this one. Sorry, 1 second. For this one, yes, we will move it to 750 gigabytes. Okay. Okay, as you can see in bold, you can see the modified stuff of the virtual machines. So for different disks, I click OK. The disks will be automatically extended on the operating system, but I have a last operation to do, and this operation is to connect finally to the operating system as a remote desktop connection, NetApp 23, with my marketing suite password. It's not this one. Okay. And on the operating system, I have to start the disk management snippets. And if we have a look on all the system drives, I should see my free space. It's strange. Gonna retry this. Yes, perfect. I just had to refresh the view. So as you can see on the DMS data 01, 02, 03, and 04, I have now 250 gigabytes unallocated. I just have to extend each disk to the maximum capacity. Next, finish for each disk. Each time I'm allowing the maximum free space, the whole space. Okay. And right now, if I just try to refresh the alerts, should switch to green, to OK. Sometimes we have to refresh a couple of times. Have I missed something? TMS DB23? Nope. No, each disk is well configured as 750 gigabytes. So maybe the problem is here with Shinken. Okay, so I don't know why it's not becoming green, because there is a problem with Shinken. Sometimes we have to restart the application. I'm going to try to restart it. I just put a message to tell to all the colleagues that I'm restarting Shinken. to do this on this node. I'm the guy on call this week on the application side. Each time we restart Shinken, all the configured checks switch to unknown or critical for just the time they check the check launch one time. So each time we restart Shinken, we received many alerts on the on-call rotation, on the on-pager duty. Okay. Right now you can see all the disks are okay. So that's better. Yeah. Another tool we have just to finish this part is Grafana on Marketing Suite. It's a tool to get some charts, useful charts per server. I designed dashboard with all the Windows servers. And here you can see the memory usage, CPU usage, the network usage, and the disk space of each server. So you just have to select the server you want to see. 23. And yeah, you can see the 04 has already been pulled in Shinken. So right now the disk usage switched to 60%, and it was 90% just before. If we wait some minutes, it will be the same thing for all the other disks. It's just because the perf data counter has not been updated yet by Shinken, but it will be in a couple of minutes. Okay, for this part, for me, it's okay. Let's go back to Cheetah Mail. That's what we are supposed to do. So let's do this. Yesterday, Andreas explained you some alerts, right? We had the previous months.
Yep.
Okay. So he talked with you about this spreadsheet. What he has talked about. He talked about each different incident or each different alert.
He didn't really go into detail on each alert. He just.
Okay. What we have here is a list of Cheetah Mail alerts for the previous months. So what we can do is, for each alert, I can explain you how to check the monitoring system and how to check on the server to find the root cause and to solve the alert. Okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So one recurrent alert we have is the first one, this one. Sometimes we have we reach the threshold of 90% in disks, especially on web services servers on Cheetah Evo 2, WS2, Evo 1, WS1, etc. Yeah, we know why. We know that it's related to failed purge script we have on these servers, and today we are not able to solve this problem. Maybe it will be interesting to spend more time on this script to check why, to find why this script fails. But it's a bit complex on these servers because of the design of the Active Directory, on the permissions on the drives. So sometimes we receive an alert, the free space on the D disk on Evo 2 WS2 is just 10%. We have to do something. What we have to do is pretty simple. We have to connect to the Jambox. We have to connect to the impacted server, Evo 2 WS2. And you can see on the D, we have around 20% left. And if you want to know why the disk is almost full, you can just run tree-size-free here. It's should be located on C drive tools on each Cheetah server. We have a package of useful softwares. So we just can start this tool, scan the D drive, and with that we will have a list of the more consuming folders. So each time on the WS servers, it's related to the logs. And if I have a look, the EMS, this site, it is, these logs are IIS logs. And what you can do to quickly remove, to quickly free space on the servers is you can select all the compressed files at the root. My connection is really slow. Okay. Select all these files. Let's right click and delete all those files. I don't put those files on the trash. I push the shift key to avoid to put those files on the trash. Those logs could be helpful, of course, if we want to debug some application issues, but we still have the logs of the day, and all those logs should be exported into Splunk. So it's not really important to delete those logs. If you want to be safe, you can maybe keep the last week, okay? So right now, if I just refresh, let's have a look on this specific server. EVO1WS1. It was EVO1 or EVO2? I don't remember. Okay, EVO2, WS2. We want to see all the services, not only critical or warning services. On the D drive, I will refresh right now with the last check. We have 69. We just have 21% free. No, sorry, we have 31% free. And let's try to refresh. Okay. And right now we have 91% free. So to solve this this problem on the web servers, we just have to do this. It's pretty simple. For you as beginners on the application, of course, the most complicated thing would say it will be to find which server is it, to remember where the logs are located, where the tools are located. So, but on a system side, it's really simple to solve this alert. If I look, okay. For the last month, I just have this alert once, but sometimes it's really often. Okay. Second alert, MSMQ and EVO1 Services 1. You should remind of the name of this server. This server hosts a couple of services on Marketing Suite, on Cheetahmail, sorry, Cheetahmail V1 and V2. And we have alerting for each of these services. If I have a look, if we have a look on Centreon, EVO1 Services 1, we have a check which is called check Q MSMQ. If I look the spreadsheet, MSMQ on EVO1 Services 1, so it is the same check which was in error on on last month or the month before. And as I remember, there is a queue. The MSMQ is a Windows service which is used to send emails, and it can handle many emails in the queue, and the aim of this service is to send email over a PMTR, a destination SMTP relay, etc. And here we created an alert because if this queue is too big, I don't know what is the threshold here, we can have a look, but if this queue is too big, we will switch the status of the check to critical. We will be alerted, and what we have to do here is to check the queue on EVO1 Services 1. So let's check this queue. I just want to leave the WS2 server. Okay. And I want to connect to the Evolve Services server. Sorry, my baby is crying, but he's sick. And I don't do this for a while, but I will find how to do. I will find out the snapping. It's not here. Maybe it's more there. We should see the MSMQ somewhere. Maybe there. Okay. And where was that queue on message queuing on services and applications? Right there. That's the component we monitor with Centrium. And yes. You can see the different information here with the queue, with the configuration IPs and ports. Here you can see the message. That's here that priority side. Yeah, that's what we monitor with Centrion, and sometimes the queue can be huge. You can have a look if the number of emails are decreasing. If it is the case, there is no any problem. If it's not decreasing, it means that the chrono service is maybe crashed and we have to restart it. Can happen, for example, after network failure or after a server crash, and we just have to restart some MSMQ or chrono services on chrono contact servers. That's all. But for the last alert we have received, I think I've just checked if the counter was decreasing, and it was the case. So I have had nothing to do more. So for those alerts, it's pretty simple too. Can happen when there is huge activity on ChronoContact servers. And to remind, what is a ChronoContact server? It is there are the servers which are handled the instant triggered campaigns for cheetah mail. Okay, so nothing more for that. Right. The next error on Evo2 target 2 was related to a huge RAM consumption on those servers. This extract is not perfect. I remember all the alerts. I know what are all these alerts, but it's not really explicit because just here we have the, oh yes, we have the RAM, sorry. Okay. So it's a SNMP check launched by Centreon. Here it is the name of the service group, I think. And here is what is the issue. The issue is the RAM on Evo2 target 2. And sometimes on the target servers, just a reminder here, the target servers are here to calculate the filters for the campaigns, for the application. So each time a filter has to be calculated or is called by the application, the target service is called. And sometimes with specific filters, complex filters, or just with a bug on the code, on the target code, the target service starts to consume all the RAM on the target server. And if we receive this kind of alerts, it can be it can cause a huge impact on the platform, especially on the extranet for the clients, because they won't be able to see some web pages on the extranet, because the application will call the target service, and the call will go to timeout, and the web page will never load. So what we have to do here is to connect to the target server to see what is why the RAM is highly consumed. Okay. Just want to leave this server. So to do so, I want to connect Evo to target 2. Oh, it's a old Windows 2008, I think. Yes. And we have to check the RAM consumption in the process tab. And here you can see the target service is taking the most part of the RAM. of the memory. And if the RAM is full, you just have to restart this service, target service, and you can restart the target manager service too. You can do this from there or from the service management box. And after that, the check switch to OK, and the extranet becomes stable again. Okay, next one was again, okay, it's a bit different here. These checks are related to a high RAM consumption on Evo 1, Crino 1 server. It happens especially when there is a high traffic on Chrono Contact services. So here you cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. Should be great to maybe create new Chrono Contact servers and to add Chrono Contact services. But today it works like this. We never have tickets, or it's pretty rare to get a ticket from the client service related to Chrono Contact. If we have one day more tickets, maybe a thing could be to add a new Chrono Contact server and to deploy new Chrono Contact service to have more balanced RAM usage and resources usage on all the Chrono Contact servers. Okay. Next alert is again Evo 2 target 2 related to the high RAM consumption for the target service. Once again, a Chrono Contact RAM usage, and same thing for all of the servers except here. Evo 2 is equal 10, is equal 10. Okay. Sometimes, I don't know why we have received some alerts related to database servers, because each time our database servers are configured to use almost all the available memory on the servers. It means each time you start SQL Server on your database server, I can show you. Okay. I'm going to connect to one SQL Server with SSMS tool, and let's have a look on Evo 1 SQL 7. If you check the properties of the server, we have a memory parameter, and each time SQL Server will start, 40 gigabytes of RAM will be used just when starting SQL Server. So that's why we usually don't put any monitoring on the RAM on SQL Server, because it has no sense to do this, because almost all the memory is used once SQL Server is started. So it's not really important to. And if the system, the kernel, for example, the Windows kernel needs some additional memory to do some important operation, it will be priority more priority than SQL Server. So I don't know why we have those alerts here, but we don't be alarmed with a RAM problem, a RAM usage on SQL servers. Next, so it is finished for this line, those lines. Okay. Let's move to Evo1 DB1. I know that all those alerts have been started at the same time. Let's check if I'm right or not. Okay. Yes, it was during the night in October, and what we have had here, this server was completely stuck during the night, was frozen, as I remember, and all the specific checks of the server was in red. Evo1 DB1. Evo1 DB1B. Okay. All those checks was in alert. What? Okay. And what I think this server have been restarted. And I have not seen any incident communication after that. And it's an error because when we restart the active server of on the couple on a cluster of mutualized server, all the application is impacted. So maybe it was during the night and the traffic was really low, and I think it was the case. That's why the impact have not been seen, but we were lucky, I think. We were lucky. I would like to, it would be great to have another column here with the status of the service. Is it critical? Is it unknown? Because you can have a critical service, and of course we will be alerted if it is the case. Sometimes when we have an unknown service, for example, when some checks are run with SNMP protocol, and sometimes SNMP is messed up on Windows, and the check cannot be run, and the check becomes the status of the check becomes unknown. It is not really the same than critical, because critical, the application Centrion is configured to send an alert to PagerDuty, and it is not the case for all the unknown checks. Anyway. Okay. If we remove, I just want to hide where I can hide, group hide, okay. Okay, I just want to hide DB1. Okay.
So that alert was a false positive?
Those one I'm hiding?
Yes.
No, it is a mixed with another checks. It was, if you have a look, it was DB1 again, DB1, DB1, DB1. We have DB1 here, and I just want to focus on other alerts we have. And to do this, I want to hide some checks to be as more clear as possible.
So you think those DB1 ones were false positives, though?
No. It was not false positive checks. It was related to problem on the server. I think we were unable to connect to the server. The server was crashed, the active server on the cluster. So someone have restarted this server during the night, and after that, all the checks were up again.
Okay.
Just. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. From line 726 to line 854, it is related to, if you look at when the alerts pop, it is the same day at the same time. And it is normal. It is because, if you remember, I talked on Monday of generation servers and server data, and the data dispatcher. And I talked about about the data dispatcher service, which is the orchestrator of the campaigns. He's here to start a scheduled campaign, to start the information to the server data. The server data do some stuff, and next they are sending information to the generation server. The generation server does the stuff to build the email and send the email to the Power MTA servers after that. And sometimes server data or generation services do the stuff with some issues, and no email or no campaigns are routed as sent anymore. And to solve this issue, it can happen during the night or during the day. Of course, during the day, it's more important because we have more traffic, of course. And what we have to do is to restart the services. But unfortunately, we cannot restart the services just right-clicking to the Windows service, restart the service, and all switch OK. If we do this, you can be sure we will lose some emails. So what we have to do is well described in a procedure already documented in Confluence. And I have shared this procedure with you guys. It's called restarting server data and generation services. So the first step is to connect to the Jumpbox, of course. The second step is to reach this web page on the Jumpbox. As you can see, it's already opened on my Jumpbox. If the VPN wants to help me, okay. And here you can see some charts with what we are, at what speed we are sending the emails, how many served data are working, how on the flow to work with the campaigns. As you can see, for the first server data, we have 2 linked campaigns. For the second one, we have 8 linked campaigns. And if we have more and more campaigns, more served data services will be added on this page. Okay. So sometimes when we have an issue, when we have an issue, we can see this issue on the chart. The sending speed is decreasing. Campaigns are stuck. It's clearly, you can see that point on the generation speed chart here, just here. It becomes blue because we get some delay on the scheduled campaigns. So the first step is to open this page to ensure the problem is related to that case. The second thing to do will be to stop the data dispatcher. Why? Just because we don't want to process any campaign. We don't want a campaign is sent to the server data or to the generation server anymore, because we know there is a problem on those specific services. So we just want to stop the data dispatcher. So all the scheduled campaign will not be sent to the other servers while this service is stopped. So just stop the data dispatcher service. This service is located on Evo1 services 1. What we want to do is to connect to SQL Server to the mutualized database using Evo1 DB1. And we will have to launch those queries on the mlist2 database. Let me show you. Those queries will be used to list all the active campaigns. And with that, we will be able to pause all the active campaigns. Let me show you how to do that. Give me some power. Okay. So Evo1 DB1, I have to start a query on mlist2 database. Okay. Okay, perfect. It is just a select with a cast to replace some numbers, some strings. And here, on the output of the first query, we can see all the active campaigns. And this T-SQL code is forging all the requests we have to run to pause all the campaigns. So with the first output of the query, this one, I can pause all the running campaigns. So of course, to do so, I just have to copy paste the output of the first query and to run those queries. So what we are going to do here, how many lines we have? We have 34 lines. So it means we have 34 running campaigns right now. And if I start the 34 SQL queries here, I will switch the status of the campaign to 3. And I know that 3 is the status for paused. Okay, so if I do that, I will pause all the running campaigns. It's important to don't lose, it's important not to lose the previous query. Oh, it's a pain. Because just above, after we are restarting all the services, we will be able to run the second output. And the second output is to change the state of all the paused campaigns to 4. And 4 is the status to waiting for restart. So it's a really helpful queries you can keep somewhere to help you. It's really a pain to work with the VPN today. And I'm sure you will be agree with me because you are not able to connect to Chitamo. Okay, let's close this one. Okay, so once the data dispatcher is stopped, we can pause all the campaigns. All is detailed in this procedure. You have to, yes, you have to connect to one Linux servers to list, to start a tail on some log servers to ensure all the queue of the generation service is processed and we have no any batch of emails on the queue. Once it is verified, you just have to run a PowerShell script on the jump box. Just have to execute this script with Windows PowerShell ISE. Once it's done, this script is just restarting all the generation services and the server data services. So if these services are crappy, after the restart, all should be work fine. What can I say? Yeah, once it's done, you just have to restart the data dispatcher service. And if you have a look on the logs, you should see new campaigns arriving. And at the end, the last step will be to resume the campaigns we have suspended with the second, just with the second output of the query I explained you. So this procedure is available on the EMEA on-call folder on Google Drive. And yeah, this specific procedure is related to all those alerts here, because of course, we stop first the data dispatcher. So of course, Centrion will catch that the data dispatcher service is stopped, and that's normal. And after that, we will restart all the generation and server data services. That's why we have some alerts linked to all the other ones. It's something we do at least once by week. It depends, sometimes during the day, sometimes during the night. It really depends. And these alerts are the same ones. And for the two last alerts, it is related. It is because we restarted the target service and Centreon catch what we've done, catch that the service was stopped. So that's all for this first spreadsheet with the alert we can have most of the time during the on-call. Yes, I have nothing to add here. What I created to help you, and it will be the next training session, is a tab with the status of the campaigns, because tomorrow we will talk more about the campaign. What is a campaign? Where you can see how many recipients are set to a specific campaign. If there is an error on a campaign, how can I check what is related to this error, etc., etc. That's why I built this tab. I will come back on this one tomorrow. Yes.
Okay.
Do not hesitate to try to connect to servers. Do not hesitate to have a look on the specific services. You can help you can help yourself with this tab. You have a quick description of each role of the server, etc., etc. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to prepare the question for me or to send me an email. Maybe you should send me an email with a question. It's more easy for me to answer by writing, and I will be able to give you more details, and it will be saved, you know. So.
Okay. Can you share those spreadsheets with us?
It is not shared. This folder is not shared with you.
I don't believe so.
Let's check. Okay. Do you have a Cheetah Digital address?
I do not.
Oh. Okay. So I cannot share this one with you. It is planned for you to get a Cheetah Digital address or not at all?
I think that's something, if we need one, I think we need to get it requested.
Okay. Okay. I will, okay, I will download those files as a package, and I will send you the package by email.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. I will do that right now, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk to you tomorrow. And do not hesitate if you have any question, just write it, and maybe tomorrow into the chat you can ask the question or send me by email answering my email with this package. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your time. Talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, talk tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.